Good morning, OKN. Born in Chicago, raised in Raleigh, licensed in North Carolina, used to be looks like Pennsylvania. She handles your estate planning and administration. Part of the McIntosh law firm, Leah Trowbridge. Good morning. How you doing?
Wow.
Yeah, what'd you think? Yeah.
All right.
Been working on that all week, Leah.
Yeah. Wow, I'm pumped up now. Ready to do the Rocky jump.
That's
you
right.
know?
There you
All
go.
right.
Also forgot next year's board chair for the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce as well. So
Now I'm tired.
I don't know if I know your origin story. What made you want to go to law school? What was that moment where you're like, I'm going to be a lawyer?
Yeah, boy, because I was raised to go to med school, and I really did not feel up to that, literally. So my family was like, well, what the heck are you going to do with your life? And I went, well, I think law school. And they were like, oh, okay, that's a great idea. Law school's a great graduate program because it just opens up everything. You know, you don't have to have a specific track necessarily. And it's pretty flexible over the course of your life.
From the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I forgot that one.
Oh, yeah, you forgot that one.
Yeah, there you go. Are you a big, are you into the rivalry thing too? Like Chapel Hill, Duke, does that bleed through your blood too?
We don't need to get into college sports right now.
Okay.
But it's gotten trickier and trickier to be a sports fan. I mean, our big deal, you know, when I was going through school was getting to watch people for 2, 3, 4 years and having a lot of them be local, you know. So, yeah, it's been a little bit frustrating, particularly in the last year, and I'll just leave that alone.
Uh-oh. Well, let's talk about estate planning, particularly digital assets. Is it Bitcoin and everything? I mean,
Right.
that's got to be just all the rage right now. Also digital, maybe like some pictures or something else, I guess, anything you can really get, right?
Right. So that's the trick is what is a digital asset? And a lot of folks, I mean, it's in all of our documents now. We have to make sure that your fiduciaries can go in and manage if you become incapacitated or you pass away. And so when I'll point that out in the documents, they'll go, oh, well, I don't really have any of that. I don't do crypto. And I'm like, it's so much more than that. So I'm going to read the North Carolina definition that's found in Chapter 36 of our general statutes. And it says digital asset, an electronic record in which an individual has a right or interest. The term does not include an underlying asset or liability unless the asset or liability is itself an electronic record. So, for instance, you can have a bank account, right, that you never get paper statements. It's not, and even the paper statement reflects what, right? Something that you're doing out there. But the money itself is real somewhere. So the bank records are your digital assets. So if you became incapacitated and your fiduciary, somebody steps in for you and they're trying to figure out what are your regular payments, right? Somebody needs to cancel something for you, or they're trying to figure out what's been going on with your bank account. That's a digital asset because that's the record of what you've been doing with your money. And then it's not just about money. If you have your American Airlines card,
Okay.
right, you get traveler rewards. That's real. So what if you've built up 2, 3 free airline tickets? That's hundreds of dollars worth of assets that are considered digital assets. If you've
There's
done,
a lot more to it, yeah.
right? If you've done 23andMe, that's a digital asset.
Oh.
Your Donna? Your digital Donna?
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Please.
Okay. Okay.
Bill just
All
got
right.
nervous.
Maybe our next show. So yeah, your DNA itself is not a digital asset, right? It's us. But the 23andMe analysis and the record of that DNA is a digital asset. So
you have to bring this up in conversation for estate planning. People probably are. I would imagine a majority of folks aren't even thinking about that whenever you're having the initial conversation.
Right. And then the everyday stuff that we don't appreciate, especially older folks that have a Facebook account, right? They don't appreciate that maybe they have photos that are now only on that Facebook account or things like that. That's a digital asset because what is it, right? It's nothing we touch. We got on an app and we signed up. And each of those digital assets has their own terms. So in theory, and this is where you're like, oh, forget it.
It's not worth it.
Right? each of those assets has terms. Like you sign up for Facebook and it's all that fine print, but every bank account, every travel awards program, all of your credit cards that have rewards programs, all of those things have the terms in there that you can set to allow a fiduciary, potentially, to allow a fiduciary access or not allow a fiduciary access. What it can automatically delete things or not. A lot of stuff. And then there are the default rules that most of us are going on because none of us dug into it that deeply. So, yeah.
I'm wondering, too, about, so on Amazon Prime, I've purchased several movies, and I want to gift those to someone. Does that become a digital asset at that point? Because that's, Kung Fu Panda 4 in some places.
Hey.
Is worth
it carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for real. Well, now you just said gifting. So that's kind of a different issue, right? Because now we're all having issues with all of those kinds of streaming services are a digital asset.
Okay.
But the ability to gift those is different, right? And it's different depending on the asset because, we can't even share our accounts now like we used to, right? What's a household now? So
does it seem like technology is making a big shift in estate planning, or is that there's still like core principles that, hey, we're going to start the same way because it's law, it's state?
Yeah. So primarily we're just responsible for making sure people are aware. And then, I don't get into the weeds of each of those kinds of accounts, but there are companies that do now. So we can refer our clients to companies that have taken the time. They'll list the 150 most common assets and you can check off and then go to that asset and they'll say, hey, if you want Apple to be able to release your stuff upon incapacity or death to a fiduciary, you need to check this box. So it'll tell you. We just need to make sure that the client appreciates that it's in their document because it might be boilerplate, but all of those things are absolutely choices.
You've mentioned the word incapacity a couple of times. And so is estate planning just literally for when you die, or is it for particular life end
Even
scenarios?
more, but that's what I tell my client, even more important, the powers of attorney. You have to have those. We give presentations all the time to graduating high school seniors. As soon as you turn 18, the state is hoping that you'll, obviously if you get a car, you have to get insurance. You turn 18 and you don't have at least your powers of attorney set up so that if something happened to you, an illness, it can be a car accident, it's not about death, it's about not being able to handle your stuff for just even a matter of weeks, a couple of weeks. That could be really critical that you have those documents so that your parents or your siblings can step in and do what they need to do to keep your life on track.
The times they are a-changing. I think Sonny Bobo said that once back in the day. And so digital assets now being part of the estate planning conversation, and you want a professional that understands that, a team of professionals that understand that. McIntosh Law Firm, McIntoshlawfirm.com, located in Davidson, but serving clients all over. Estate planning being part of what you do, but you do a lot of civic stuff. So Bob McIntosh of McIntosh Law Firm is very adamant about it, the attorneys and people that work with him, to be out in the community and things like that. You spoke at the Power Luncheon last week with the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, talking about the wills and estates for service members in the area.
Sure.
Can you talk more a little bit about that program, what you all offer to the community?
Yeah. So, I started working for Bob maybe 6 months into the law firm in 1998. And he has always been committed to providing a free basic estate plan for teachers, first responders, police officers, fire, because again, we know money can be tight when you're young, but it's an opportunity to say thank you, but then also a realization that particularly some of those professions are a little bit more high risk. When you're in the military, hopefully you take advantage of the free documents that they offer, but we also do that when you get out and you need a new set of kind of civilian documents. We're happy to have you come in and can have that first basic set for free on us to say thanks.
Very cool. Leah Trowbridge of McIntosh Law Firm, McIntoshLawFirm.com. Also, Leah, you're next year's board chair for the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. We hope well for you in that adventure as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
McIntoshLawFirm.com.